Welcome to Hypesage. Today we have a special interview guest, Mr.
Gus Dapperton.
All right, and before we start this, as everyone already knows by just the way you look and everything, I've seen many interviews or just like people who write about you saying that like you blur the lines of your how you do gender or just blur the lines of your style where it's pretty much genderless. Is that something you try to do? Is that your role model like way in a sense where you want people to see you as like you can do whatever you want, you don't have to worry about what people think at all?
Yeah, I think my main goal is to, communicate to people to be themselves. In high school, I was definitely not comfortable being myself. Just coming up in the society I came up in, it was very conservative and structural functionalism, which basically means they're afraid of change. So in high school, I wasn't that comfortable being myself. And then when I kind of found my sound and I guess endured in my style that I felt was reminiscent of my childhood and like things that I really just liked. I just like became comfortable being myself. So basically, started painting my nails in high school. I really like how that looks on me, and then started wearing makeup, and I also like how that looks. And when it comes to shopping, just if it happens to be women's clothes, and so be it. But yeah, I just am trying to embrace being myself.
And I mean, that's why, for many people who always ask, why do you have a bowl cut? Why do you have a bowl cut? It's because of that, right? So you can reminisce of the past of you, how you were as a toddler.
Yeah, so I've been able to like connect that basically recently that I guess my sound and my style is reminiscent of my childhood years. And I wasn't sure that was the case at first, but subconsciously I think that's what I was going back to, just a time of pure learning and no evil, and just kind of grew up on this like I don't know, like 90s kind of lifestyle. My parents were playing a lot of like 60s rock and 80s new wave around the house and whatnot.
Yeah, and I mentioned like I heard in some of your interviews saying that like you like the Corgis, right? This like very obscure band, but at the same time you like stuff such as Joy Division or like the Smiths. When I heard the Smiths, is the Smiths someone like Morrissey? Does he inspire you with his excellent songwriting? Is that some of your inspirations by any chance?
Yes, and also I just admire Morrissey. Originally when the Smiths first came out, there wasn't really like a gay lead singer in a rock band. He was the first who was like open about it, and David Bowie also like blurred the lines of that, and I really fuck with him and just how he his I don't know, like changed with the tides and kind of curated his image with each decade. But yeah, no, and I also just Johnny Marr is like one of the best guitar players. He's like my favorite guitar player. So I also think Morrissey's tone of voice is like really unique, and he's just an incredible singer. So I think all around, I just fuck with the Smiths and like how simplistic it is, and yeah.
So, and I mean, it's just beautiful to hear that. And it's refreshing as well to get someone like you to do something different where you just don't care. And I was actually talking to a couple of your fans before I got to here, and they were telling me, like, yeah, you're just an inspiration where, I don't have to worry about what people think, whether they don't like my music or if they don't like the way I look with my clothing. And you've pretty much grown this kind of cult-like following where who cares? And that's a really good message. And speaking about cult-like following, like, can you explain or can you give us your reaction when you first saw that guy? I mean, the girl who had your that tattoo.
Yeah, I thought that was incredible. Yeah, I guess, man, I don't know. I don't have any tattoos. And I don't know. I guess I showed it to my sister, and she was like, "Wow, that's crazy." But like, I was looking for like a different reaction because to me that made me feel like I don't even know how to describe it. I was just so intrigued with that. That's never happened to me before. It was also a good tattoo, and it looked cool. And I was just like, man, like, what I was thinking was when I saw it, I was like, man, like, me and like my creative director Matthew Dillon Cohen, like, we shot like we just set that up in his parents' house and like shot that picture, and I loved it. And like, I don't know, I was like, man, like, that was like the start of something, you know. But
And for many people who want to know too about Matthew Dillon Cohen, who is your creative director, when you made stuff such as "I'm Just Snacking" or "Prune You Talk Funny," which are like amazing music videos, especially for an indie artist, you don't really get that as much. How does that work when you like made the song "Prune You Talk Funny" and you were in the works for that music video? What was going on? How did you get that look? Like pretty much.
yeah, so I always try to explain that like the way me and Matt work is a little bit different than how some other artists might work, where they'll get a couple different directors to write treatments for a song in like a month, get it done in a month. They have a budget and everything. And then the way me and Matt work is like we're just best friends, and I lived with him at a period of time, and we've just kind of grown together in each of our own art forms, like, and kind of came up together and just learned from one another. So we have very similar taste, and like in the process of making a song, I'll like show it to him and be like, this is like, we have to do a video for this. And we'll both come up with ideas for like literally 6 months at a time. And then it finally comes together at the end. So it's like a full, like, procreated idea that is just, I guess it's not necessarily more thought out, but we just spend more time on it, more like little details, before we shoot it. So yeah, I don't know. I like working with Matt. He's like the only person I trust to like portray myself visually.
I mean, do you see Matthew like the moment you moved in with him, right, in New York? Do you see that moment as like him shaping and molding what you are because of those music videos, or maybe his knowledge of other music things he's worked on?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely like grown with him, and we were definitely able to like portray an environment in the videos that you might kind of see when you hear my music, and just put me in an environment where I could like showcase my full personality. I don't really know like how to describe it, but I definitely think that we've been able with the last couple videos to like to do that. Yeah.
And are you making new music videos with him or anyone else at the moment?
I'm trying to shoot one this summer for a new song, but trying to get funding and stuff, and in the midst of touring and whatnot. But we'll definitely get it done, and it's like a big idea, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, you mentioning touring, as for like I've talked to many indie artists about that. I mean, how hard is it to drive to places and places, and maybe there's like little fights with your group or not, or just things going on like that. Is it as hard as people think, or is it easier than people think?
Um, I think I think generally the idea is that it's quite difficult, but um, me and my band, like my sisters in the band, were best friends. Um, my two best friends from back home, who like we started playing music together. Like I think I started producing in 8th grade, and I was like picking up the guitar again, and I was like, "Yo, Tommy, you got to play the drums." Like he didn't even play the drums, and he's like, "Okay," and like literally, his parents got him a drum set, and he just started playing the drums, and now he's in the band. And um, my friend Ian, who like we used to skate with, was a couple years younger than us, and he played upright bass in like the orchestra, and then also played lead guitar in guitar club in middle school, which I was always like, who is that kid? He fucking shreds. And guitar club was like, they used to do these assemblies, but they're just my fucking homies, and we get the same humor, and it's just like kind of seamless. Like when I don't know, not seamless, but like enjoying ourselves on the road and maintaining like a good mindset. Even though if we're exhausted, it's still like we embrace it a lot. We embrace it a lot, like anything. But no, it's definitely hard like getting around, but we've managed to like have people with us like tour manage and whatnot that just really keep us afloat for sure.
And you mentioning that in one of your interviews that the Europe scene or where you've been at the moment has been more electrifying, maybe due to the fact that there's more like it's an underage drinking, or maybe they will never see you again because it's hard for you to ever come to Europe. So they really show that energy. What is like the main difference culturally or anything when you're in Europe to like when you're in the States that's like, wow, I wish we had this, or I wish we didn't have this?
Yeah. So initially when we went to Europe, I was like, wow, this is like, I don't know, playing here is like way, like you said, like electrifying, way more electrifying than say the US. But I had only played shows in Philadelphia and New York, and Philly shows were basement shows, and like that's just like one vibe. And then in New York, I just like knew half the people coming to my shows. They're all my friends and stuff, basically. So I don't think I really had a good like idea of every different type of show, like whether it's like all ages or an older crowd. So when we went to Europe, I was like, this is like the crowd is like matching my energy up on stage, which I really enjoyed, and I think that was the main difference I had thought. But when I came back here and started touring the U.S. again, like there was definitely people matching my energy as well. So I guess the main difference is like, I don't know. I was 20 a couple months ago, so like we can drink out there, and that was awesome. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely something I wanted to ask. But yeah, so now we're gonna get into a question that I've been wanting to ask. But yeah, so what do you think about me? What do you think about journalism? What do you think about just any of that, whether it's me, the needle drop, fader, any of that? I mean, I've said some things that I can say that I haven't had the most research on, and I've just, came out without doing my own due diligence. But, do you see that as hurting your career? Do you see that as helping your career when there's more talk about you or not?
I don't see it as hurting my career at all, and I definitely watched your videos, like a lot of them, and the first one that came out about me when you did the Yellow and Such review, I was like hyped that you reviewed it. I was like, there's never been a review on me. I was like, this is fucking hype, and regardless of whether you liked it or not, I was very excited about it. But then like you did another video where you said that I was one of your favorite artists, and I was like, that's very interesting because you didn't like Yellow and Such. So I was like, then maybe afterward you might have listened to it and liked it a little more or something. But I just thought it was like a little hypocritical, so that kind of hurt my feelings. But no, I mean, I enjoy all of it. Yeah. No, I the first couple of videos I watched, I was really hyped. But yeah, sometimes I don't know. So no, I like blocked you on Twitter just because like I was a little offended by some of the things you said, and since I'm an independent artist, I can do that and I can block people.
I mean, I would definitely say me not having due diligence in what you do wouldn't hurt you. It would actually hurt me. And I have definitely understood that. And actually knowing your story now and actually talking more in a personal way, it's definitely motivational on what you've came up with and living in Warwick, which was a very conservative town, to moving to Philly, right? And how when you went to Philly, what was that like?
When I went to Philly, it was I don't know. I definitely was around people who were open to. It was a little more convenient to be myself. Like it was very inconvenient growing up in Warwick, but I didn't make very many friends in Philly because like it was like still very cliquey. Like when I don't know if it's like this with everyone, but when you get to college, like people like find their friend, like people find like make friends like in the beginning, and then they're friends for a while, and like I would like meet people, and they would kind of be like have these big group of friends, and I just couldn't like fit in with everyone. And although everyone was like nice, it's just like a little uncomfortable trying to intrude in someone else's like circle. So I basically chilled in Philly in my dorm room for 2 years all day. I had some good friends, and the one other kid that I lived with was like a super good engineer, and he was like working hard all the time, like I was in my room. And so that was like a good I don't know, environment to live in. But I didn't like living in Philly. It was kind of barren. It was like the whole scene out there is like a lot of house shows, and there would be like 6 house shows a night, and it was hard to be motivated to go see all of those. When I would go and I'd be there and I'd be like, what am I doing here? I should be home working so I can be playing shows, you know? I don't know. So I always had that kind of stigma with going to other shows because I would feel bad about not working on my own craft. I don't know.
I mean, so is there a place you dream of living, whether it's in LA to have more of this like music come up, or Europe? Is there one place exactly right now that you, if you can, would move to?
Yeah, so honestly, like I've been in between spots. I like moved back with my parents. We actually moved from Warwick, New York to New Jersey, like the Jersey Shore. Um, and that's really nice. There's like no one there. Like I don't know. So I really like that. I like living in New York City, but it's hard to. I make music out of my own space, so it's like I in Philly. I have this like big warehouse now. It's super cheap in like fucking Kensington, Philly. It's like really cheap. And I was making music there, but I'll still get noise complaints and like I try to like build a studio, but people just like want to be bothered by something. So I don't know. And New York's like really crammed. Like I can't find good spaces out there really. Yeah.
And so in Philly, I assume it's not as competitive as New York, right? When it comes to like your scene, do you ever get that where you're like, man, this guy's trying to like outbeat me when it comes to this or that, at like just being an artist at all?
So the people I've been able to like surround myself with in New York is like really not like that. It's like it seems like that, but every artist I know in New York is super supportive of each other and like um I don't know. New York is like more of an eclectic scene. Like Philly's more specific to the sound, um, and New York's just like all over the place. And like you can play shows with a lot of different, I guess, like genres and styles of playing and different music. And the group of people I've been able to surround myself with out there are like really supportive of each other. But yeah, Philly was I don't know what it is. I just didn't really like fit in there with like in college really. It's not that wasn't even Philly. It was just like kind of college, I guess. I don't know.
No, I feel I feel you on that. Sometimes it's like I just wish something happens to me that I don't ever have to go to school again, because it's like I know it's not for me. But yeah, I'm gonna finish these off real quick. But yeah, so I know you skate, and I know you did like some thing, or like you had my guy I know named Connor. I know you know Connor too. Yeah, yeah. So, and I know you do production as well. Like back in the day, you used to do some hip hop production. Yeah, yeah. Will we ever get like a Lil Nar collaboration or something like that?
I don't know, but I want to play him in skate. For sure. I want to. Yeah.
How much was he betting?
He had $15,000 cash to whatever rapper could be him in skate with over 1 million views, and I hit him up, and he's a homie, and I was like, I'm not a rapper, but I like love to play skate, and he's like, fuck yeah, let's get it. So I don't know. That'd be sick if like the Barracks posted it. That'd be so sick if they set it up, and I could skate. That would be so fun.
Make 15 racks. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this off with some fan questions. There's definitely some that I wanted to know too. But yeah, so what's your current skateboard setup? A lot of people wanted to know that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just got a new passport deck from Branded Skate Shop in Long Branch, New Jersey. Shouts out to them. My boy Sammy hooks it up. And indie trucks like the like Andrew Reynolds hollow ones. Spitfire, Formula 4 wheels. Yeah.
And then yeah, I had another one where it said, "What happened with the Colors show, and will it be re-released?"
Yeah, so I wasn't happy with our performance on Colors. I fucking love Colors, respect to them. And I love them, and this dude Philip that works at Colors, he's such a homie. And I felt really bad, but I just asked them to take it down because I wasn't hyped on my performance.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I would love to see you there, and I hope one day we will, because I mean, you should definitely be in those acts like Daniel Caesar or Mac DeMarco, who have great stuff. But yeah, you'll. I can't wait to see that one.
We're definitely gonna shoot another one.
For sure. And then yeah, and then I had a couple more. Oh yeah, so ask him about the coolest people he's met. Crazy, like when you're at your tour. Anyone crazy? Anyone like mesmerizing that you've met?
Man. Let me think about it for 1 sec. I definitely have. I'm trying to think of who in particular.
Well, we'll get back to that one. We'll just go with it. Yeah. We'll do this real quick. So, how do you find originality and style and the bravery to pursue it in front of people?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask about like the confidence and bravery that comes with being yourself, but it's has nothing to do with that. I would say that I'm not confident, I'm not brave. I would say that in order to survive, I need to be myself. I would spontaneously combust from all the emotions built up inside of me, all the feelings that I release through a creative outlet. So I do that in order to survive, and I've just come to terms with reality and the fact that things need to be unpleasurable in order for there to be pleasure. Like, there's like a consequence and inconvenience for being yourself, but you just have to do it regardless. There's like a higher reward for it, and ultimately live a better life. But yeah, I would say that. And then when it comes to terms of style, that's just like your personal preference, and whatever you prefer. Don't let anything else sway you. Yeah.
And any last words? Anything you want to say to the fans? Any shout outs? Any new things coming out soon?
Yeah, I'm very focused on performing for all my fans at the moment. This is all very new to me, touring and whatnot. I'd say I'm more of a like in the studio kind of person. I hadn't played a lot of shows beforehand, so I'm very focused on performing for everyone and giving a good show. So you can come out to the shows and whatnot, and also definitely have a ton of new content like coming. I know like some people like don't like to announce things. Like I don't even have an album done, but like totally will be releasing an album in the fall and stuff. Yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna end it out. Thank you so much, Gus Dapperton. I'll see you soon, man. All right. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And I'm glad we cleared that out.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually mentioned the